Plain and Fancy is a musical comedy with a book by Joseph Stein and Will Glickman, lyrics by Arnold Horwath, and music by Albert Haig, one of the first depictions of an Amish community in American pop culture. It includes a traditional barn raising and an old-fashioned country wedding. The musical ran on Broadway in 1955–56, and has been produced yearly at the Round Barn Theatre in Indiana since 1986. Productions. The Broadway production, directed by Morton DaCosta and choreographed by Helen Tamiris, opened on January 27, 1955, at the Mark Hellinger Theatre. It was produced by Richard Colmar. It transferred to the Winter Garden Theatre on February 28, 1955, where it remained until November 7, 1955, before returning to the Mark Hellinger on November 9, 1955, closing on March 3, 1956 after a total of 461 performances. The cast included Richard Dare as Dan, Shirl Conway as Ruth, Will Abel as Jacob, Gloria Marlowe as Katie, Douglas Fletcher Rogers as Ezra, Barbara Cook as Hilda, and David Daniels as Peter. B. Arthur understudied Conway and Carol Lawrence was among the chorus members. Lawrence recorded her version of the song, "This Is All Very New to Me," from the album, Tonight at 8:30. The U.S. national tour ran in 1955, starring Alexa Smith and Craig Stevens. The West End production opened on January 25, 1956, at the Theatre Royal, Drury Lane, where it ran for 315 performances. The cast included Jack Drummond, Joan Hovis, Malcolm Keane, Grace O'Connor, Michael Craze, and Virginia Summers. Since 1986, the Round Barn Theatre at Amish Acres in Napanee, Indiana has staged Plain and Fancy every year as a part of its repertory program. To date it has been performed by the company more than 3,500 times. Richard Pletcher, founder and producer, dedicated the theater's stage to Joseph Stein in 1996 following its production of The Baker's Wife. In 2006, the York Theatre Company in New York City worked with librettist Joseph Stein to reduce the show to a 13-character musical, and this new version was produced as part of the company's Mufti Theatre concert series directed by David Glenn Armstrong. It starred Cady Huffman, Charlotte Ray, Nancy Anderson, Jack Noseworthy, Eric Devine, Jordan Leeds, and Sarah Delaney. Plot synopsis. New York City sophisticates Dan King and Ruth Winters travel to Bird in Hand in the Amish country of Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, to sell a piece of property to Jacob Yoder, who intends to present it to his daughter Katie and her intended Ezra as a wedding gift. While there, they become involved with the local villagers, including Hilda Miller, who mistakes Dan's kindness for romantic overtures, and Ezra's banished brother Peter, who returns to claim the hand of his childhood sweetheart, Katie. Song list. Recording. Original cast recordings of both the Broadway and London productions were released. Awards and nominations.